question is for the Minister of Economic Development and Trade. The government talks of its open for business strategy as if it helps business. We know that it is just a paper-pushing process inside government ministries. But let's go back to the first promise you made when you announced open for business. You promised, and I quote, "The government will reduce the amount of regulation in Ontario by 25% in the next 2 years."
What happened?
You made this promise on March the 6th, 2009. The 2 years are up on Sunday. Will you tell us how you will cut 25% of Ontario's regulations between today and Sunday?
There's a deadline.
Thank you, Speaker. I'm delighted to talk about the tremendous work we're doing at Open for Business. We have launched a very exciting and frankly historic engagement with the private sector and the government, and we have done this by sectors. The first sector was with Build and all of the developers that they represent, as they interact with a number of ministries all at the same time. Then we moved on to the manufacturing sector. We're working with the medical devices sector. We're working with the information, communication and technology sector. And when we bring them to the table, we are hearing from them that they're excited to engage in a process where, for the first time in all of their interaction with governments over a number of years, including those that purport to support business, in fact, they've never had an opportunity to have deputies from all the ministries at the table at the same time. And when we launch these initiatives, the Premier of the province is at that table.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Minister, you've been the Minister of Economic Development and Trade since June of 2009. 20 months out of the 2 years since your government made the promise to cut regulations. Will you tell the thousands of small and family businesses in Ontario why you have failed to stand up and help them by cutting red tape? Why should any business person in Ontario believe any promise you make when you have abysmally failed to keep the first promise you made?
Minister.
I'm not sure what the opposition would call a failure. Is it removing 1,700 certificates of approval at the Ministry of the Environment? Many of those that were kicking around in 1995 when her party was the government? What do you call a failure? The harmonization of regulations between Ontario and Quebec for the transportation industry so that you can drive the same truck through Ontario and through Quebec when we're selling our products around this country and the world? What kind of success would this member like to hear from the IT sector that is telling us they are elated with the opportunity to wipe out these kinds of problematic areas in interacting with our government, that we are delivering on the priorities that they as a sector are giving to us, and we're doing it within a time frame that is working for the industry? Those are successes of Open for Business. I would encourage the member opposite to go to our website.
Thank you. New question. The member